This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm so excited to be speaking with Mena Suvari about RZR. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, good, good. Detective Thompson is quite a hard nut. What appealed to you about this character?
I feel like she's a product of her environment. I feel really blessed to have been thought of for a character like her. I feel like she's a character that I've always wanted to play. Her intellect, which gives her that ability to have the strength that she has and that she uses. It was a lot of fun to play that character and play with that power. And so, like I said, it's something that I feel really grateful to have been thought of by my peers that maybe fought for me to be seen in a way that I hadn't been seen before. So it's been really wonderful.
That's great. Do you connect to any part of this where, like, is this a world you know a lot about, this sort of futuristic technology space?
No. Um, I don't consider myself the most tech savvy. I feel like I have a long way to go, a lot to learn. And that's definitely part of why I really wanted to be involved in this. I feel like every project that comes my way always offers the opportunity to really learn. And so definitely that offered a lot within this space of getting to play within this sci-fi world that I'd never really been able to be a part of and play in. And I felt like it it was something that was just so possible. I felt like it was a Los Angeles that was going to be here in a few years. I don't know. It just had that kind of weird, trippy sense to me. And I was so blown away by David Bianchi, our creator, and his mind, this vision that he has. It would be awesome to just kind of step into that mind for a day, experience his perspective. So yeah, I mean, it was just super awesome and exciting to not only have the opportunity to read this script and get to experience this, um, this world and this storyline that felt so possible, but then to have been thought of to play such a fun character. It's just been a really wonderful experience. And, this is also something that happened like in January at the top of the year. This was 2023. It's usually a time where people don't know, but in the industry, it's like, you're coming out of the holidays, things are kind of picking up back again. A lot of us sit around and wait. And to have this opportunity to be working the top of the year, we're in LA. We have such incredible crew here. Um, I feel like, you know, I've had this like up and down love affair experience with being in LA and working in LA. So it was really nice to just be here and get to make this awesome piece of art. And yeah, I could go on and on and on. I mean, incredible cast, our incredible directors. That again was also something that, is a part of it. You see who's involved, you you see what visionaries are a part of this. And I was really, really excited to be a part of that. It felt really modern for me. So
Well, it's a short form series, but it's not that much shorter each episode than like a typical sitcom might be. Was it a very drastically different experience filming it?
what's weird is no, it didn't necessarily feel like that. And I mean, I don't know. I guess it's because I've worked on like, I mean, other than theater, I feel like I've worked in like so many different types of dynamics. So it was quick at times, but I feel like I've been used to that for a while now. Um, yeah, I mean, we're sort of like I've worked on projects where it's like 2 weeks. I don't even know what we're doing. So yeah, I mean, it was quick at times, but I was sort of used to that, and that's part of the excitement for me. Yeah, I think I just kind of learned to expect that. And now it sort of feels like a real luxury to have time to talk about anything on set. So yeah, I mean, it kind of did and it didn't, but it wasn't so out there that no, I mean, it really felt like I was working on an independent film. And here we were. It just like I said, we were here in Los Angeles. Everybody was so smart about getting this made. We had our location downtown, which really added a lot. I mean, for me as an actor, all of that coming into play, the locations, our incredible costumer, Don Ritz, like all of it adds to it. But yeah, no, it just felt kind of really gritty and exciting and fast paced, only in the sense that any kind of TV could feel fast paced, but at the same time, I did feel like we had moments where it felt like filmmaking, where, we kind of had that energy on set. I always felt like I had the support of not only, our many fantastic directors, but just David in and of itself. I mean, he could just be like, I'm acting, I'm producing, like he could just like interchange his hats so wonderfully. And yeah, so it never felt like at any moment that we didn't have enough time or that something was too rushed or yeah, no, I'm glad that you asked that question because I think it's really important to talk about that because this was so independent. It was so small.
Well, for those who are fans of yours and have come across this interview or just your Emmy nomination and haven't seen it yet, would you recommend separating out like one episode a day, a week, or just go through the whole thing?
I think you have to kind of go through the whole thing. I've only ever been able to do it that way. Because it is kind of quick. It is and it always leaves you right there where you're like, oh, I gotta know. Like I gotta go to the next one. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, that's it. It's quick. So um I don't know. I'd love to have a conversation with the person that like waited a whole week if they could. I'd be like, how did you do it? And I think that's really cool. And it's funny because I remember being parts of conversations about this type of thing, like I feel forever ago. I mean, obviously we had other platforms kind of take this on, but it's really neat. It's really cool to see this kind of, quick content. And I think, I mean, yes, I don't feel like I'm the expert to talk on it. That's why I love to listen to David because it's riveting, but it's true. I mean, from what I've gathered on all of this process, it's really incredible what we've been able to accomplish within our time frame and within our budget. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why this means so many things to me, but it does feel, our show being recognized and having an Emmy nomination, all of this, it's it's even more special because of those things, because it was such a small passion project of love.
I see that you're starring in a project that probably couldn't be any more different than this, which is Reagan coming out very soon.
Mm.
How do you sort of hold those two things together and just coming out so close to each other?
It's all wild, and I actually am going to TIFF for Joseph Kahn's film Ick for our Midnight Madness premiere. So yeah, my head's kind of spinning right now. Um, but it's awesome, and I'm really trying to just live in the gratitude. I really try to think about everything that, you know, not just myself and everyone involved in all these projects, but my team have put into all of this for years. And it's really lovely to be experiencing these moments. And yeah, I feel really grateful. Like I said, when I pointed out how I feel like I've worked in so many different spaces, like I feel like what I'm experiencing now is really trying to um understand it in the healthiest way possible and put it all into perspective, understanding that it's in relation to all of that. And it's just really nice. It's really nice. So I wish I could clone myself and kind of be in like three places at once. But I'm
In
doing
the
the best
world
that
of
I can to just kind of, like I said, just be grateful to just be a part of all of this because it is such a surprise. I mean, all of these things, it truly just comes out of being thought of. Joseph Kahn thought of me for Ick, working on Reagan. I was 17 weeks pregnant. I mean, that was so special to be able to work while I was pregnant. I mean, all of these things mean so, so much to me. And so it's really lovely that they're coming out. People are getting to see it. Yeah.
I'll be at TIFF, and I did want to ask you about Ick because I'm not a big horror fan, and so Midnight Madness always worries me a little as a section because I never know, like, am I going to be jumping out of my seat, or is there just a lot of gore and other stuff? How would you classify this movie if it's possible to do that?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I could. I don't do that to me because then now I'm gonna I feel like I'm not gonna do it justice. I mean, it's like a creature feature. It's kind of everything. Um, it's not just a horror. I have yet to experience this. I've only kind of been a part of the ride, and it's been growing alongside. Um, but I love horror. I love horror. I feel like what upsets me about, I mean, I'm so excited to be there, but then I'm going to be upset that I'm not going to be able to watch everything else. I'm not going to be able to do everything else. And I want to partake in all of it. But yeah, no, we're excited to be there because again, it's just family coming back together and here we are. And it's the same thing with RZR. It's just all of this, I mean, for me, it's like all of these beautiful things coming out of, I just never expected any of it. So it'll be fun.
Now we're 25 years from your big year with American Beauty and American Pie. Do you feel like those roles really have guided a lot of your career, or you've sort of moved past those since then?
That's a great question. That's a great question because I think it just depends. I think that answer is different for everybody. I think that a lot of people think of me from American Pie and American Beauty, and those films obviously gave me so much, not only in my life, but in my career. But the first film that I ever worked on was a film called Nowhere with Greg Rocky. And I think that I will always forever be grateful for any opportunity that I've ever been thought of. But I've worked on so many projects since American Pie and American Beauty. And so, especially now, I think to kind of bring it back to like what we were talking about in talking about Ick versus, Jane Wyman and Reagan versus Detective Thompson and RZR or RZR, I feel really happy and proud that I'm able to play those roles in the sense that I'm being thought of to play those roles. And I feel that I had to put in a bit of work to in hopes to be thought of in that way, that took a bit of, well, obviously it took a bit of work, but it took a bit of sacrifice. Yeah. So I think overall, yeah, I just really try to live in the gratitude. I feel really, really happy to have the people that are people around me that I have around me now, and I really enjoy getting to see and work with the same people over and over again. It's something that has been really fun to experience, working on a project. And I worked with someone, I did a project at the end of last year, and our costumer, I worked with her on a photo shoot in like Silver Lake, I don't know, like 20 years ago or something. And it was just so cool, you know? So I just try to live in the gratitude of those moments. Like, hey, we're still here, we're getting to do what we love to do. And yeah, really enjoying like the creative aspect of what I do now. That's the space that I've been currently living in, and it feels really good. Yeah.
I'm sure people ask you about those two projects specifically a lot. Is there something else from in between then and now that you feel like flew under the radar that you're very proud of that you wish people would ask you about in every interview?
Oh gosh, I mean, probably anything else that I've worked on now. Um, I mean, yeah, because I feel like there's so many types of roles that I've played. I mean, there's so many yeah, there's so many characters. And so, it could be really anything. I thought of the Garden of Eden the other day and what kind of adventure that was for me and what an important role it was for a person to play and what this story meant. And yeah, so yeah, I feel like there's endless opportunity for lots of great questions to ask. But I'll forever, be grateful for working on anything that they label American because it's
Well,
important
this,
in the title. It puts it at the top of the list. I've had a lot there. Maybe I'll get an
yeah.
award for that one day.
Well, I want to end us on the note of awards since it's awards buzz. We love to talk about what you're watching. Is there a show or a performance you've seen recently that really you feel is very awards worthy?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna put me on the spot. Oh my gosh. I mean, let me see. I'm gonna have to give me like I'm gonna have to give you a good answer because you can't do that to me. I watch a lot of documentaries. Um, it's almost sad to the point where I don't really watch anything that's really um actually I did go down, I mean, and it's pretty obvious, Baby Reindeer. I did go down that route because I watch a lot of dark, disturbing things. So I'll give that as my answer because there's just way too many, obviously. And it's hard to choose. I wouldn't want to choose. But that is a series that I watched and was absolutely riveted by because I love anything that's like, you know, criminology, forensic psychology, and those are usually the documentaries that I watch. So I think it was sort of like that was very fascinating to me. Yeah, I feel like I could go on and on about that story. Did you watch that one?
I did, and that actually is the most popular answer to this question. So it's a good one.
I think because it just kind of goes, you can kind of go off and off and right, kind of go over here on talking about this part of the story and maybe what happened here. It's very fascinating. Yeah, yeah. But I think one of the things that I always really appreciate when I experience projects like that is how simply I mean, to me, at the core of it, it's somebody taking an experience and making art out of it, right? I mean, turning it around in a way to get others to hopefully think and experience things differently. And so I'm always very impressed by that. I think it really takes a lot as a person to to accomplish something like that.
Are any documentaries you've seen recently that you'd recommend?
Get me on my documentary list. I'm gonna have to come back to you, Abe. I'm gonna give you like
That's okay.
a 25 list. I was watching the homicides in LA. I watch a lot of really dark stuff. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Well, I so appreciate your time. It's great to get to revisit this show and some other facets of your career. And maybe I'll see Ikatif, but either way, I hope it goes very
I
well.
hope you
And
do. Don't be afraid of it.
I definitely can't do a midnight screening. That's too late for me, but maybe an earlier showing some other day. That's fine.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a
So
wonderful time there, and it was nice
thank
to
you.
meet you here.
You too. Take care.